Have you ever wondered where your requirements come from on your technical project? Well, depending on the type of industry you're in, it's going to depend on the source. I want to break down into two types, and you'll learn government, military, how those requirements work, and then also for commercial, or if you work in industry, how those requirements come about. Now, for the government side, a lot of times that will be specified by our customer. Either they'll provide something called a concept of operations, maybe they'll share some analysis of alternatives that they did where they got some requirements out of that, or they'll just point blank give us a statement of work that include the requirements of the product we need to build or the service that we need to provide. Fortunately, a lot of times they'll have released specifications, so specs, interface specs, other requirements that we can look at to determine if, how our requirements need to look and if we need to do this type of product or that type of design for that. Now, if you're in the commercial space, there it's very different. There we very much deal with market analyses, see what the market wants, and then that will become our requirement source for designing our new feature, refining our product, or even creating a new one. There'll be surveys, use some Google tools sometimes so you can find out who's searching what on Google. Assessing the competitors' products. Now, a lot of times we want to come up with our own ideas, but it's good to know what the competition is offering just to see, have they really stumbled on something? Is this something we should consider? And depending on our, obviously with licensing, but maybe, for instance, like for cameras, there's a new feature called in-camera stabilization. I mean, it's not that new, but there's a feature that not all cameras have, and the idea of that could be something that, if we're in the photography industry, you want to consider. Also, we can look at previous product specs. A lot of times we'll do that also on the government side. It's very helpful to just have a start if we're just refining a product, and we can take the old requirements and copy them over. One caution about that, though, a lot of times when we do that, we copy over the flaws and the poorly worded requirements, and then we're going to spend money on something where we already knew it was vague and maybe we didn't want it anyhow. So again, sometimes they call that copy and paste requirements. Do that with caution. It can be very helpful. Ideally, we rederive based on needs, but there are times when using the old requirements can be a great head start. So if it's done right. Let me know what you think. If this resonates, and message me below or give me a comment. Let me know if you find this useful. Otherwise, I will see you in the next tip.